Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new loot video for you all today. So today I bring you guys a very special one and a very expensive one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to loot from 1,000 Larran's keys. What you're seeing on screen here is actually how I was able to get 1,000 of these. You know, traditionally people like to do Wilderness Slayer and earn these keys. You know, they are stackable. Most people don't sell them to other players, but this guy messaged me, said, Mr. No Sleep, I have 1,000 Larran's keys. If you don't buy them from me, it'll take you a very long time to get them yourself. And I said to myself, you know, he has a point, and frankly, I have a lot of videos planned, so let me just buy them directly from this guy, 250 keys at a time. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did spend 670 mil for this. Now, he only wanted 650, but I told him, hey, wait about 10 days so I can actually kind of make up my mind here. And since I'm all about business, I said, you wait 10 days, I'll pay you an extra 20 mil. And you know, I came to the conclusion that although it's a lot of money, 30% of my bank or so, I can always make that money back, so it's really not a big deal. I mean, I made that 670 mil from the loot series, so I guess it's just right to spend it back on the loot series. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I promise you there's a couple surprises along the way, so I hope you watch the whole thing. So first things first, you know, you can't actually trade a Larran's key. I'm sure you probably know this by now, but the way I was getting them was obviously just killing that same guy 4 times. So other players in the wilderness do drop them. There has been a few occasions in the past where I've killed people doing Wilderness Slayer, and that is usually when you might get them as a drop. Other than that, you are able to get them during the course of Wilderness Slayer. You can get them from many different monsters, probably a couple dozen of them. Everything in the Rev Cave and everything in the wilderness in general, so that is how most people get them. I wanted to kind of try out 9 keys at first because I had 9 keys in my bank, and I really have never opened this thing before. As you can see, the KC is tracked every single time you open it. And this was all brand new to me, so I went and opened 9 keys, kind of tested the gear, the inventory. I'm not too sure why I was scolded. That was kind of stupid. And well, as you can see, the 9 keys went pretty well, you know, seemed easy enough, so why not just bank? And since I didn't run into any PKers, and it seemed like very similar to the Brimstone keys that I did before, I figure, you know, why not bring 500 Larran's keys and just kind of open them all up, you know, log into a couple different accounts, and whenever I would need to bank the loot, just simply do that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately things took a turn for the worse, and the very first inventory, I guess I was scouted out by some way, somehow, and matter of fact, another YouTuber goes by the name of Mint Mad Cow. You may have heard of him. Well, he's very familiar with the wilderness and Larran's keys, and there you go. Single-handedly changed this video to loot from 500 instead of loot from 1,000. Nah, I'm kidding. Luckily, that didn't happen. I mean, it could happen, though. That was a warning to you all. If you ever want to open up Larran's keys, you never know what can happen. I mean, it's RuneScape, you know. I think we've all been surprised in the least expecting moments. A big shout out to Mint Mad Cow, though. He's a good friend of mine, and he helped me with that clip, you know, because I actually didn't run into a single PKer during this video. So when I had opened about 500 keys, I figured I'd message him and see if I could, you know, get a clip for you guys to warn you, you know, just in case anyone wants to do this. You may not run into any PKer when you're running there or when you're exiting there, but the second you start opening the chest, that's when you gotta be on alert. So you never know, you might get someone to log in underneath you, and if that happens again, then well, we just might lose this Dagon'hai hat, and we certainly would not want to do that. That is one of the 3 Dagon'hai pieces. You can of course get the robe top and the robe bottom. Beautiful graphics and great magic bonus. Really great price on them as well. So a little history on the Larran's key. I feel like we really haven't gone over it that much yet. It was released into the game June 20th, 2019. You have to be in 55 wilderness in order to actually open it, and the exact odds of receiving the key actually scales with the monster's combat level that you're killing. There is a lot of math behind it, a lot of formulas on the old school wiki, and I will leave that link in the description below, but unfortunately I'm not the greatest at math, so I can't really speak much on the odds of receiving it. But the drop sources will also be in the description on that page, and that will show you the odds of getting a Larran's key from every single task that you can get assigned with Wilderness Slayer. So that's a very useful page. If you have a lot of Slayer points and you're actually going for a big stack of these keys, then that page will help you out on what tasks to skip and what tasks to do. Obviously, the higher level monsters, the higher the odds of getting the key. It's pretty simple to follow. And speaking of following, shout out to this guy. I appreciate the kind words. But yeah, I was using 2,200 worlds the whole entire time while doing this video, so I had a lot of privacy. At first, you know, I felt kind of stupid for not using a looting bag, but only 70 keys in, then I started using it. I didn't realize how how important a looting bag was for this, but at first, you know, I didn't really know how dangerous this was either. Although I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there wasn't a PKer there the first inventory, that certainly doesn't mean that there won't be another one there in the following inventories. I also wasn't using multiple accounts. I was only using the main. I didn't have any friends or any protection with me. I didn't really need any protection. You guys know how that goes. And here we have our second rare, the Dagon'hai Robe Bottom, currently at a price of 5 million. So we had 2 hats and no tops yet, but this was the first Robe Bottom. And looking at the normal loot that you can get from the Larran's key, obviously a lot of seeds and a lot of resources, a lot of coins as well, and gems. Whenever you see the dragon fruit tree seeds or the celestial seeds, those are really good drops. Whenever you see that, that's like a guaranteed 500k plus right there. Other drops, you know, aren't the greatest. Steel bars went down a lot in price, and iron ore is so cheap these days, so a lot of the ore, you know, not the greatest. Usually I would bring anywhere from 30 to 50 keys per inventory. I think towards the end I, you know, had a lot of confidence, obviously wasn't really getting bothered too much. I would say at most, you know, maybe bring 50. As you can see, I had pretty good tank gear and a lot of Sarah brews, so if there was a clan here, they had to be pretty good in order to kill me. Or maybe I'm just too confident, but yeah, I don't know. You also get a lot of magic seeds on top of the dragon fruit tree seeds, so those are at a nice price right now. Obviously, whenever you get the pure essence or the gold ore, raw swordfish, you know, things like that, that's never good. 670 mils, a lot of money to spend on a video. No matter what I was gonna buy these keys at, even at normal prices, you're still not gonna profit. Usually the only way to profit is to actually earn the keys yourself. And I gotta be honest, you know, looking at the price of Dagon'hai as well as the higher tier rewards just on the normal drop table, I would say definitely cash these keys in. Don't sell them unless you're gonna like stack them up and you want to sell them to someone that you know personally. But remember, you have to kill them and then you have to pick the keys up. You know, you have to be on a trust basis with that person, or else you could get scammed. So be very careful if you're ever gonna, you know, try to find someone individually to buy them from. And gear wise, you know, just bring a bulwark. It's very cheap these days, and some good defense bonus, and you should be good. Here we are, 400 keys into the video with 5 robe bottoms and 3 hats, but still no robe top, and that is of course the most expensive one of them all. Well, just kidding, we just got it. But yeah, it did take quite a while for that one. This is from the preview. You guys actually might have seen this in the last video, but yeah, here we are with a full set, and it did take just about 500 keys to get that. Reminds me of the good old 2010, 2011 PvP and PKing days. A lot of people used to rock this armor. I truly think the graphics are still stellar to this day. So yeah, big shout out to that. I did switch up my gear. I went with the Guthan's helmet on top of the different colored Mystic boots, you know. Gotta switch it up every now and again. Not like it makes a big difference, but yeah. And I actually did go on a pretty big dry streak of about 150 Larran's keys where there was no Dagon'hai pieces, but then go figure, in the same inventory we were actually fortunate enough to get 2 Dagon'hai hats, and the very first one was on 666. So yeah, I see that number a lot these days. And the very next inventory, our luck seemed to have returned. We did get the Dagon'hai robe bottom, so that's good. The robe top and the robe bottom, that's really gonna increase your price check. I was kind of seeing a pattern, you know, no matter if I was getting a Dagon piece or not, almost every looting bag, maybe other than 2 or 3 this whole video, was just about 6 mil per 50 items, per, you know, 50 keys or so. I'm not too sure if that's gonna look like that when we get to the very end and price check everything, but that's kind of the average number that I kept seeing. We were lucky enough to get another Dagon'hai top, so that makes 2 tops, 5 hats, and 6 robe bottoms with 50 keys left to go. The real question is, are we going to get another piece? Let's hope so. We have a lot of money that we need to make back here. And that looting bag that I just banked, the one with multiple Dagon'hai pieces in it, that was definitely the most profitable inventory that I had this whole time. I think that was of 18.6 mil or so. If every inventory looked like that one, then man, we would have a different video for you today, I'll tell you that much. Either way though, here we are with the last inventory, the last batch of 50. We were lucky enough to get a Dagon'hai rope top at our 12th key to finish, so that was super fortunate. And this video only did take me 1 day to complete. Obviously, it took me a long time to make the money to do this video, but nevertheless, 1 day is all it took to open all these. Loot from 1,000 Larran's keys has been completed. I really didn't expect to do this video anytime soon, certainly not this year, and it did cost a lot. This will go down in history on the channel as the most expensive, definitely the most costly loot loot video of all time for me. Maybe one day we will top it with Implings or something crazy in the far future. But for now, let's get into the price check. Okay, so here is all the seeds, the fish, the ore, logs, rune, and steel bars with the coins. All of these items coming out to be 100.1 million. 15 mil just from those dragon fruit tree seeds. We'll round this all down to 100 million exactly. Now we have the gems as well as the Dagon'hai. Pure essence, almost 400,000. A lot of dragon dart tips and arrowheads. The dart tips are always a great reward. And this second price check coming out to be 97.7 mil, but we'll go ahead and round that up to 98, which means, ladies and gentlemen, the overall loot from 1,000 Larran's keys comes out to be 198 mil. And after buying them for 670, I only lost 472 mil on this video. That's not too bad. But either way, let's go ahead and sell all of the Dagon'hai. Let's sell everything else. Fast forward this. Of course, we do down 5% for all the prices, get that cash right away, and it looks like overall we made 196.3 mil from 1,000 keys. Well, until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Mr. No Sleep, out.